All right, guys, good evening. Welcome to our podcast, Speaking of Leadership. Tonight, we're going to talk about positive mindset and how it affects your ability to do your business. Linda and I will talk about a couple talking points here. So, introducing ourselves, my name is Curtis Leong, Beacon of Positivity.
And Linda Tilson, Beacon of Team Empowerment.
And we're missing our leader, Beacon of Life and Leadership, RJ Horn. He's on holidays, so hope he's enjoying himself because I saw some photos there. It looks like he's having a good time, him and his wife there in Cuba. Awesome. So, how does your mindset play a crucial role in building your business? It shapes your attitude, beliefs, behaviors, which in turn impact your ability to succeed as an entrepreneur. So, the first way would be growth mindset versus fixed mindset. So, what is a growth mindset? That is someone who is able to learn, grow, and improve their skills, even though they may have like certain skill sets, they're always trying to improve. So with the event of AI, a lot of us are learning, right, Linda? You're learning how to use
Yes,
AI, just like myself. Some things we use things. I don't know if it's cheating or not, but I think it helps. It gives you some ideas, and then you just got to be more creative afterwards. Some of the other things I've been looking at, like the help with growth mindset stuff, is you alt self, which is a habit tracker. I just started using it. Cost me $40. It's pretty cool. Like I'm pretty good with my habits anyway, but there's other aspects that will help, I think will help me become a better person. That's why I got into it. So talking about fixed mindset, I guess now, is basic person who does not improve anything. They think what they know is all they know and they don't move from that. So I don't know if you might know some people out there, Linda, that are like that by chance.
actually, there's always someone that's on either side of that equation, whether the growth or the fixed. But what I would say about the fixed mindset, it really is something that limits a person's willingness to take risks and try new things. And
Mm-hmm.
so the issue with it is if you're a business owner, it's not going to serve you if you are not willing to put yourself out there and take those
Right.
calculated risks.
Yes, that's for sure. It's not what entrepreneurship is all about. It's taking risk and going balls to the walls and not caring about anything except even if you fail or you lose everything, you're willing to try again. And that's entrepreneurship totally. And that's total growth mindset. And I think anybody who's an entrepreneur has that. Do you believe that too?
Yes, I do. I mean, having an entrepreneurship mindset, it's much different in the fact that you're persevering,
Yeah,
you're resilient, and
sure.
you're focusing less on the mistakes. You're
Yeah,
focusing on where you can travel. And each time that you do something,
yeah,
you learn a lesson and then you apply it the next time. So it's an iterative process. That's a little bit different than when you're in like more of an employee mindset
hmm.
where you're following procedures and processes and you're doing everything
Rules.
rules and you're trying to move through and stay out of trouble.
Yeah,
That's more of a mindset when you're in a business type of or in a an employee mindset.
yeah,
An entrepreneur is willing to again take those risks. Again, they're calculated. I don't think
yeah.
you should just go out and be a maverick.
No.
There's fun in that, but if you're going to be successful, you should always think about the returns on investment,
ROI,
the
yeah.
amount of effort required
Hmm.
to achieve that goal. Those things are really important. And do I recommend that you just throw everything out there and see what sticks on a consistent basis? Not really.
Throwing spaghetti at the wall idea, yeah.
I mean, there's a place for the spaghetti on the wall. I found
Yeah.
the spaghetti on the wall was really important when I was trying to decide where my expertise was. So
Hmm.
I would try different things to see what would stick. And so in that process, I did find that. But
Cool.
now that I have that, I'm more in that focus. And when I say focus, I'd rather do one or two things really well
Yeah.
than to continue to go down the spaghetti on the wall path.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably a good idea. All right, let's move on to positive mindset versus negative mindset. Well, I'm all about positivity, and I do know that with positive mindset, it's mostly internal talking to yourself in a positive way. A lot of times we talk to ourselves like like whatever. Like sometimes people say them call themselves idiots or whatever. You can't be doing that. You gotta treat yourself as you would your best friend or your parents. Show yourself respect. Show that you do matter to yourself, and then a lot of times that will change a lot of your habits just instantly. It's kind of funny how it works, but a lot of people don't think like that. So that's part of being a positive mindset. But most people have the negative mindset, which, as we know, it's almost anybody you can talk to is like, oh, this is a problem, that's a problem, the news, the weather, whatever. You can think a gazillion and one things, but to find someone who's positive is a little more rare these days, I find, or even someone who has, oh, it's gonna be working out. But the cool thing I found out lately is a thing called the optimistic club, or there's actually different buildings around. I just saw a few couple days. I was like, that's odd. I didn't even know they had a group we can get as the optimistic club members and become part of a group that's our optimistic people, which is part of positive mindset. So I thought, that's a strange sighting. It must be a sign of some sort. Perhaps I need to join. Right. What's your view on positive mindset versus negative mindset, Linda?
Oh, so the positive mindset is going to give you that space where you can be creative and
Hmm.
innovative. Whereas if you're negative,
Yep.
you can be that naysayer. You're not going to be able to get people on board because you're going to be this dark cloud that people would rather not be
Yep.
around. But there's another negative mindset that I see that it comes in.
Hmm.
And I see a lot in business owners. A lot of people think, I'm not ready to do XYZ.
Hmm.
And I'm going to tell you, nobody is ever ready to totally do XYZ. You just got to
Yep.
jump in and do it.
Yep.
And the second thing that I see a lot that happens is this thing called comparison. We tend to compare
Yep.
ourselves to people that we want to become. And when we do that, that takes away from going out there and
Yep.
creating who you are. So
Right.
it's okay to want to exhibit some of the traits or competencies
Hmm.
of another individual.
Yep.
But where you get that positive mindset is where you take those best things and then you turn them into yours. So
Yep.
you put your foot out there,
Yep.
you take that risk, you don't constantly put yourself down because you think
Yep.
someone is better than you.
Hmm.
You just take care of you,
Yep.
and that mindset there will drive you further and faster
Yep.
in that confidence building than anything will.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny you make the comparison itis reference is kind of funny. But you're right. Just do your best. And if you are like journaling or writing stuff down or like say, hey, yesterday I did this. Okay, so today I can do this. Then you can keep track of where you're going. And then over time, your personal best will be someone else's best. Like, oh my God, Linda's amazing. How did she do all this? But over the years or months, whatever, you're doing it yourself and it helps, right? Helps you become
Exactly.
better, and you're
It
not
really
comparing
does.
yourself. Yeah, because if you don't compare yourself, then you feel that you're doing a good job and you'll continue to move forward, right? All right, so I guess we'll move on because we're like talking about positive mindset. Let's think about how does a abundant mindset versus scarcity mindset. So I guess an abundant mindset involves a belief that there are ample resources, opportunities, possibilities available that you can create without feeling threatened by competition, which is similar to the other one, being a positive mindset we just talked about. Um, then there's also like the scarcity mindset where you think, oh, I don't have enough, I don't have this. A lot of times in the money idea, you'll think, oh, I don't have enough money to do this, so I can't do that. But in actual fact, sometimes if I think if you just put something into it, anything, it can help, right? So that's where I get that from, because a lot of times we don't think we have enough of something, but actually there is a lot more than you think of. It's just a matter of how you can judge it, right? Because sometimes we think, oh, so and so has this brand new car. I need a brand new car, but in actual fact, you don't really need a new car. Maybe you need a newer used car, perhaps, you know? So I guess that's the same idea as the comparison thing, right? And it goes back to being just trying to do your personal best is not necessarily someone else's way, right? So
And
anything
another
else?
point that I was thinking when you're talking about the abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset,
Yep.
a person in the scarcity mindset always thinks that they have to keep things under wraps
Mhm.
because somebody's going to come in and take their
Whatever.
customer
Yeah.
or they're going to grab their line of business. And when you do that, you avoid collaborating with other individuals.
Yep.
And actually, there is always someone out there for everyone.
Yep.
There's always other opportunities that you can pursue. And so really, if you think about it, there's so many choices and opportunities that you actually, the one thing that you're afraid of is somebody taking from you. When you are an abundant mindset, the collaboration thing, once that kicks in, you're actually in the presence of people doing like-minded things and
Yep.
sharing and exchanging ideas. You actually can go further because they might have something to offer that will add to your toolkit, your presence. Sometimes, you get those customer referrals in that way. And so if you're thinking, I don't want to share anything so anyone can have an insight in, that comes across in your energy as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And so that's one point that I wanted to make here tonight.
Oh, fantastic. That's good. Speaking of collaboration, we also have a thing coming up in April 29th, right?
You do.
Yeah, collaboration thing. And that goes every last Saturday of every month. And our first one is coming up this April 29th. Do you want to explain a little bit more to the people listening, Linda?
Absolutely. I'm so excited about this event that we're hosting. The idea or intention behind the Thought Leaders collaboration sessions is the whole idea that people that are entrepreneurs, book authors, speakers, they could be someone that does volunteer work, whatever it is that you're doing and pursuing as your passion or your business. By coming into our community, you're going to have access to different individuals. And the whole premise of our event is this: I have an ability to help people, identify people to build teams.
Yep.
What I'm needing from somebody maybe is an opportunity to speak on a podcast. And so we want everyone that's coming to our event to be able to say one thing that they're going to bring that they like to share, and then one thing that they would like to learn about or be connected to somebody during that environment. And the idea behind it is once a person comes to one of our collaborative sessions, that they would continue to come once a month and have that support network. There's nothing greater in my mind than having a community of practitioners, a community of like-minded people that you can draw from. That I've done it several times over, both in employment and in my entrepreneurship journey. And I absolutely love collaboration whenever I can find it.
Excellent. All right. So we'll post a link after the show in the YouTube. So if you want to join us, there's a link there. And is it cost anything to join, Linda?
Yes, that's a great question that you asked there, Curtis. And so it's $25 to join each session. Now, if you fill out the link for our survey of Get to Know You, then you can go to our very first session free. And then if you come out and you love us so much and you want to keep going, you can buy the whole series. And so the whole series
year,
price is out. Yes, the rest of the year of 2023. And so that's the best deal, I think, to buy that series for 2023. So when you come in, make those connections and then stay with the community for the rest of the year. And let's see what we can't do.
Perfect. Excellent. All right, guys. So make sure you join us this coming Saturday. No, not the following Saturday. And check it out. Anybody's invited. The first one, fill that form. You go to our website. You'll see it in the first half of the website, and just fill that form out, and we'll get back to you, because obviously that's what we do. Keep in touch with our people. And so we already talked about the employee and entrepreneur mindset. I think we should move on to the next one, which is resilience and perseverance. Building a business can be challenging, as we know. We've had some setbacks, and failures are inevitable. But having a resilient and preserving mindset, which involves the ability to bounce back from failures, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward, is crucial. It helps you stay focused on your goals, maintain motivation during tough times, and continue taking actions towards building your business. So Definitely preservation is all part of what we're kind of talking about today about positivity. It all links together, I find. So either you have a little bit of this and it can actually flow into other parts of your business, your personal life, and probably even like you, if you're the right person, that will actually influence other people to become a better person even. Or maybe they, hey, if Linda can do this or Curtis can do this, maybe I can do this too. Or even if you have done something, you say, hey, you know what? I've done this. I used to be something else and I was like a bad person. Now I'm like this positive, outgoing, affluent person that helped other people. And then somebody's like, oh, I don't think I can do that. But then maybe you can help that person to become a better version of themselves. They won't be like you, obviously, because you can't, we're not like carbon copy people.
Nor would we
Right?
want to be.
No, like Multiplicity, the movie, right? Make yourself of yourself. They like get dumber and dumber as it goes along. The movie's funny.
Um,
So, what's your take on being um, um
Resilient.
resilient?
Mhm. I think as a business owner, you have to be resilient
Yeah,
because there are going to be those setbacks. And a
right.
lot of times you got to have several iterations of something before it becomes that success. So the one thing that I would tell people is when
Yeah,
you have that positive mindset, you're resilient. When things don't always go your way, don't give up too soon. I see
yeah,
far too many people have one or two not so good runs at something, and then all of a
uh-huh.
sudden they do two things. They either quit altogether,
Yeah,
or what they'll do is they will shift to do something else
there's a
too
shiny
quickly.
object. Yeah,
Yes, too quickly. They'll shift to something else because they didn't give the one thing another iteration, a
yeah,
chance, to materialize. And so what they end up doing is they set themselves in a pattern of they start things and don't finish, or they
right,
start things and give up.
right.
And as an entrepreneur, if you want to establish your presence of having a solid business practice or a solid
Yeah,
business performance, you gotta remember it's the long game. You
yeah,
gotta stick with it. You gotta ask for help when you get in those situations. And that's what I like about this community, because
yes,
there isn't any time where any one of us hasn't felt like, oh, is this worth it? Oh, am I going the right direction?
yeah,
you know am I putting my resources in the wrong place? Those are questions that do come up, and if you're doing your business right, you'll be having those sessions with, I recommend having a business coach
yeah.
or a business mentor to
Hmm.
be able to vet some of those things you're thinking.
Right.
And if nothing else, a peer-to-peer conversation a lot of times will reset that negative thinking, that thought that maybe you're not going to get there, and they'll be your encourager to keep going. And
Yeah,
again, I can't emphasize that's why being in a collaborative community is so supportive and
yeah,
beneficial, because we get the opportunity to be able to be that with one another.
absolutely. Because sometimes you're more willing to listen to someone else than another person. So
Mhm.
like you say, person A is like they're a great person, but they talk to you, but you don't feel it. But another person you talk to, same words, same everything, sinks right in. Is like, yes, this is it. Even though the other person said the same thing a minute ago, each person has their own little something that you connect to, I guess. And with a collaboration or a group of people like this, it'll help for sure. So it's a short one today, only half an hour, right? We got only a few minutes left here. Um, so I don't know. I guess in summary, I guess cultivating a positive mindset will help you in many parts of your entire life. So that could be just a simple like self-development courses and books are very important, which we always recommend. Reading lots of books is very important because it's kind of like you're mentoring somebody, like what do they call it? Mentoring someone like fostering someone else, not literally mentoring them, but mentoring through fostering. I think that's what they call it, which I think is cool. I heard about that the other day. It's like, oh, that's amazing. It's like, because a lot of times people say, oh, you should mentor this person, and when I thought about it before, it's like, oh, I'd be right beside this person and be their buddy or something. But then someone said about fostering like that is like, oh, just by reading their books or looking at the posts or just reading about them is kind of like a mentorship almost, right? So you
Yeah,
get to
yeah, you
understand who
learn.
they are. Yeah.
Yeah, you can learn a new skill set.
Yep.
And then what you can do is you can apply that skill, and that's how you develop it.
Yep. So
Mhm.
speaking of developing, what kind of stuff do you do to help your mindset, Linda?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that because honestly, the reason why I'm so supportive of our collaboration event is because for my mindset, if I can collaborate an idea with another person to vet it,
Mhm.
then I can put together a plan of action. And what I'm doing when I'm doing my plan of action is I'm making sure that it is specific,
Yep.
measurable, achievable, oriented and time bound.
Yeah.
I say that life is a project. The same thing
Yeah.
with your business. Your business is one long project that never
Yep.
ends. And if you do that, that can set you up for, that's how I set my mindset. My mindset
Perfect.
is that what's the best thing that can happen? And I use the tools that'll best get me there. And then I have people in my back corner that are my cheerleaders,
Hmm.
my fans,
Yep.
my support system when I need a little bit of a nudge to keep going,
Yep.
all of those things.
Perfect. Yeah, for me, I just mostly self-improvement stuff. Because I wrote a book on positivity, obviously. I know how to do most of it. So yeah, but you're right. Sometimes you do need that one person or someone say, hey, Curtis, you do a great job. Or even someone say, oh, Curtis did this awesome thing like 2 weeks ago or whatever. Or oh, hey, Linda did this thing at her show or whatever. She did this thing at work. She did an amazing job. And just sometimes hearing stories of other people's success can give you that little bit of encouragement, like, hey, maybe I can do this. And that's all we need, right? And that's this community that we're trying to build right now is all about that. And I hope you guys can join us because I think we're going to sum this up shortly. Thank you guys for listening today. My name is Curtis Leong. Beacon of Positivity. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, ring the bells. When we go live, you get notified, and leave a comment on what you think about positive mindset. Linda?
Yes, I'm Linda Tilson, Beacon of Team Empowerment. And do as Curtis said, like and subscribe, and do one more. Go ahead and register on the Eventbrite link. And we'll see you at our first event here on April 29th. That's part of our 2023 series.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Night.